Dinner with Friends podcast. Y'all hungry?
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Dinner with Friends podcast. Today I am joined with my co-host Nathan Mutale, Journey Moses, and my mommy, Miss Dawn Michelle. And today we'll be talking about finance. But before we get into all of that, this is a tradition that we have on the Dinner with Friends podcast. Can I ask you, what food do you feel like today?
What food do I feel like today? Now, you already know the answer. First of all, hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm a fried chicken food.
Okay.
So you already know. Chicken wings it is, baby, with the mustard sauce.
What about you guys?
I'm gonna say I got inspired by Dr. Dawn's socks. They're Lay's potato chip socks, and now I kind of want some Lay's potato chips. I feel like Lay's potato chips.
Okay, which flavor?
Original. They're
Okay,
original.
okay.
So I'll do original.
Lame.
Oh.
Tomato. What?
Tomato?
Right.
Like tomato. Not
Oh,
like
okay.
ketchup.
Answer
Tomato,
the question.
I am gonna say I'm gonna go the similar route that you were taking.
Okay.
Something I'm craving right now: cherry plums.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like specifically Trader Joe's cherry plums. They are some of my favorite fruits. They sell them like 2 weeks out of the full year. But they're so amazing. I might run out to Trader Joe's after this.
You keep
Or
saying Trader Joe's. Now I'm going to change my food to the chicken breakfast sausage at Trader Joe's. But it's still chicken.
It is.
no free promo, but at the same time, their food is
Yes.
I think I'm feeling like turkey necks, rice, and gravy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That was like a platter.
Okay. I'm feeling great.
collard greens.
Yeah, I want the collard greens.
Or string
and
beans.
No, I don't want string beans. I want collards. And
Right.
yams and mac.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Won't he do it?
Getting nothing else
That's like
done
the
after that.
the not
Okay.
move meal.
Okay, it sure is.
Yes.
All right. Now that we know what we're feeling like, I think again with the phone.
Okay, guys. I'm
Like,
sorry.
it's quiet
Hello?
on set.
We've gone over this so many times. Right.
Is it? Okay, takeouts here, guys.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
all right,
fine.
all right.
Y'all gotta stop getting mad at me about this. Like, as if I had some.
What?
control.
We're
Like,
on
what?
set. I don't. But
Oh.
it's takeout.
Guys, it's our sponsors. This episode of Dinner with Friends is supported in part by Every Voice, Every Vote, which is a collaborative project from the Linfest Institute of Journalism, and it is led in support by the William Penn Foundation. Learn more at www.everyvoice-everyvote.org. Editorial content is created independently of the project's donors.
Today I'm at City Hall with.
Valerie Jones.
Ben.
Alyssa.
So my first question is, what's your favorite part about Philadelphia?
It's a great question. I just love how strong of a community there is here, where every neighborhood has a different feeling to it. Everyone's super invested in it, and there's so much real Philly passion from everyone who lives here.
The culture here is just very rich. The arts, the sports, everything. I'm a big sports girl. Love the Sixers, love the Eagles, love the Flyers, the Phillies. So I just really indulge in those areas, to be honest, but that's what I really love about Philly.
And Alyssa, can you spell that for the camera?
ALYSSA.
And Alyssa, is it all right if I ask you a couple questions about civic engagement and votership?
Absolutely.
So my first question is, what's one thing about Philly that you wish you could change?
One thing I would change about Philly is, I would say sanitation in the city. I notice a lot of trash in like the urban areas and areas that I've lived. Just being a former Temple student, living in North Philadelphia, and just seeing how much trash gets thrown out. I mean, part of it is like the students for the most part, but those are things I would just like to see a change in.
I think the biggest problem that Philadelphia has right now will probably be the homelessness and the drug problems. There's a lot of people that are addicted to drugs that don't have any solutions or any programs to like get off the streets.
What do you think is Philly's biggest problem?
That's a good question. I don't think Philly's biggest problems stem from the city itself as much as some bigger issues that we're seeing in the nation as a whole, wherein people are really apathetic, for example, about the state of our democracy and about politics. And Philly, for example, does not vote and turn out to vote on the same scale as a lot of other cities, whether it's in Pennsylvania or in the United States or everything along those lines.
And lastly, what does love mean to you?
Love is unconditional. I have a lot of love for Philly. My love for Philly is very unconditional. So that's my love. That's what I mean by love, honestly.
It's a great question. I think it comes from a place of compassion. I think love really means looking at the person next to you, regardless of whether you know them, whether you've spoken to them before, and really being able to empathize with them and understand where they're coming from and being able to be supportive no matter what.
Love means equality. It means inclusiveness for everyone, no matter your race, no matter your gender, any type of identity. I think a good thing that we started to incorporate, even though we're called the city of brotherly love, we're also sisterly affection. So it's just all around about love.
Hi, I'm Nia with You Ate That, and today we are shouting out Clarify. Clarify is a financial advisor that leads with the intention of love. They value the stories of their clients and allows that to determine which financial steps are best. They prioritize meeting you where you are in your financial journey, therefore encouraging love through money.
Thanks, Nia. Now we're going to get to the real meat and potatoes of the conversation today, finances. And who better to join us than Coach Don? But one of our hosts has an even more special connection to Coach Don.
She's my mommy. Yes, guys, this is my mommy. No, like, she's not like my mom who like mommed. But she's my mom because her son is one of my very dear friends. And so we all wear red today in remembrance of him.
Oh, yes, my red is in my bow. You guys can't see it unless you're watching. But I
so
promise it's in my bow. I have red in my bow.
And you're wearing a red shirt.
I'm wearing a
Yes,
red shirt.
and I have my
Come
whole
on.
red set.
And I have the red Adidas, and this is red is for Bryson. Here he is on my neck. Bryson, Tay forgot to mention, is our angel.
Yes.
Yes, Bryson transitioned November 13, 2022, but he's with us here, and we wear red in honor of Bryson because that was his favorite color. So thank you, everyone. What a warm welcome. I appreciate that very much. Yes.
Okay, so mommy, we're gonna get into let's talk about your story first. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, wow. Do we have, how much time we at?
I mean, I don't know.
I am Dr. Dawn Michelle, also affectionately known as Coach Dawn Michelle, best-selling author. I have a couple businesses I run. Okay. I have a couple children I've raised. I'm married. I been on a long, long journey. And I'm here today to share a part of that journey with you guys. One of the journeys that I took was a journey through the criminal justice system. For those who don't know, I am formerly incarcerated. I spent 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days in federal prison, 2, and 2, and came home on a Tuesday. Yes. And I went to prison for a financial business that I operated, and I wasn't operating things in compliance. I was doing things that were unethical, and it caught up with me, and I had to answer for that and pay for that. So as a result of that, the United States government sat me down. They sat me down. I took a break, and it was the best thing that could ever happen to me. I'll tell you that much, because I took what I knew, what I learned, the errors and mistakes that I made, and I turned it around. I turned it around for the better, and I vowed to never put myself in that situation again, to never take advantage of the gifts and the knowledge and the skills that I had in that financial space. I was able to take it and wing it and do things, to leverage it. I decided not to do those things anymore and to do the right thing by what God gave me, and I came out swinging and punching, and that's what led me to write my book, From Sell to CEO, Stop Playing and Get Your Shh Together.
Okay.
And now we are here. Also, founded a nonprofit organization, 501c3, called the Felon Friendly Foundation, and we help those that are formerly incarcerated get legitimate, get their things in order, get their finances in order, and get set up legitimately with the businesses that have gotten them in trouble and led them into incarceration. As you know, a lot of these businesses that are out here breaking the law, they could really be good, legitimate people.
Yeah.
I also founded the Hooper Council's Positive Potential Project 501c3. We're located in Chester, Pennsylvania, and there we focus on rehabilitative arts programming, the art of expression, which is actually a program that I founded during my incarceration. This is our 8th year running now. Okay. Yes, this is our 8th year running. So that's a little bit, like I said, I got a lot. How much time we got, but I don't want to take it all up. But we're here now. We're going to talk about some financial stuff, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so happy to be here. Yes.
So today we are talking about money, millionaires making millionaires. And so I wanted to know just about previously, how much did rent used to be and how does that compare to how rent is currently in our climate? I know you don't rent. But.
Rent. Okay, so let's see. My first apartment was in 1998 and my rent was $700 for a 2-bedroom apartment. For a 2-bedroom apartment was $700 and it was in Delaware. It was
had
amazing.
a bathroom? Was
the
the washer and dryer in the
business
unit?
room. No, we had a laundry.
Oh, okay.
There was no washer and dryer.
Okay.
We had a bonus room and a full kitchen. And it was in Delaware, which was, very nice. It was another
'cause you
state,
ain't had
very
no
good
tax or
school district,
nothing,
everything.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it was $700. $700.
Okay. And so, rent now for a studio apartment is about
Nathan.
I got lucky at $950.
Oh, okay.
I got really lucky at
Yeah,
$950.
you
For a
did.
studio, it's $950.
For a studio in Center City, $950.
Okay.
That was a very lucky price.
Yeah.
Because I was just telling this to our producers, I got in a situation where at the last minute I had to find a studio. I had a place set up. We were gonna pay about $700 each. It was in Fishtown, so about $2,100 for a 3-bedroom, which again, that's actually not that terrible of a price compared to
Not
other
at all
real
for a
estate here in the
3-bedroom,
city.
yeah.
And then that fell through 2 weeks before. So I had 2 weeks. I toured at least 10 different units across the city. Starting price at most of them was like $1,100, $1,200. And on top of that, they ask for first, security, and last.
Oh, no. No, you're fried. No.
And so it was looking like I was...
$6,300.
That doesn't make sense to me because why do you want last month's rent if I wasn't there last month?
No.
No, last month is the last month of the rent that you're going to pay for your last month when you leave.
Oh.
So then it essentially will leave. Essentially, it will leave money in your pocket. So when it's time to transition from that one place, you'll have money and the rent's already taken care of.
It's just a lot of money that you have to put up.
Yeah.
And by every miracle possible, I was able to find the place that I'm in right now, which I love. Shoebox, still love it today. That being said, hearing you say that you paid $700 for a 2-bedroom.
And that was first lesson in securities?
We had three back then too.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. First class in security, credit checks, had to pay for those, everything.
But now, okay, I will say this. I have heard, because I only recently just turned 21, only recently got into like
21?
the apartment searching and so on and so forth. But up until that, I've heard that pre-pandemic, even just 5 years ago, apartments were not this expensive.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What happened? I mean, inflation, yes, but what happened to the point that apartments skyrocketed over at least 60% in cost?
I think the answer is in what you just said. It was pre-pandemic. Once the pandemic hit and our world kind of went down slope, now we're coming back and trying to move back up, and everybody's inflating their prices and going back up so they can get caught back up and get back to where they were. Some of it's taken a little bit of advantage too, I will say. There were a lot of government programs and things supporting us during those times that were able to give us incentives, monetary, for those who were real estate.
Yeah.
And I think that that kind of edged on the inflation as well too, because now we can get more, we're getting more, and then it just kind of like stuck that way. But I think that essentially people are just trying to recover from the Great Depression that we just went through and we're coming out of with that COVID, and they're sticking to it.
So
Now, why necessarily is it that the prices of apartments are going up but wages are staying the same? Because it seems like an apartment used to be more affordable 5 years ago pre-pandemic because it aligned with wages, minimum wage, or at least more than it does right now. So why the stagnance in wages per se, whereas prices of things, whereas apartments, cars, all sorts of things are rising up in cost?
Well, I think that's a Department of Labor issue, and I see it everywhere, and it is a very, very real situation that we're dealing with. Wages are still low, and the things that we're purchasing are going up.
Have you seen the price of eggs recently?
Let me tell you something. Again?
Yes, the price.
Yeah.
I just saw eggs, a carton of 6 eggs for $7. Are you insane? What do I look like paying for more than $1 per egg? I just should get the chicken.
Right. Get the chicken in the backyard, put them in a cage, and raise your own eggs. And then you could sell the eggs that you're not using and make a profit, a side business. See?
And they're organic.
Yes. Well, depending on what she feeds them, they'll make them more organic.
The chicken's right.
Free range.
Right. But I think to answer your question, what needs to be done about the low wages, we have to stick together as you know, a society, start making complaints, going to Congress, going to our local representatives and things, and making this an issue because it's really not fair. I feel like the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. It's like an unspoken model, you know. We've seen it for centuries and centuries, and when you describe that setup, it's kind of giving me that same, like, it's like the people that own the businesses and that provide the opportunities are the rich ones, and the only way you're going to stay up there is if you keep everybody at a certain level, and that's why I don't promote working. I promote entrepreneurship. So you can make your own coin. You know what I mean? Working, fine. Working, in my opinion, is an investment in yourself and your next level. Not necessarily somewhere where you have to stay forever. So you take that job, and then if it's not working for you, then you do what you need to do to get to the next level and to level up. If it's not paying you enough, then you do the things that you need to get more money. And then, like I said, if it's something where it's completely unfair, where you've done the education, the training, and the skills, then it's time to, you know, report to HR, start making some noise, start reaching out to the people, to the labor departments, and start looking into seeing if there, in fact, is something unfair that's being done to you, and advocate for yourself. But you gotta work hard and get yourself out of those situations so you don't have to worry about those things ultimately. But yeah, it definitely is unfair. It's definitely unfair.
Now, I want to add one more layer to that, because right now we're talking about people who are out making living wages, who are still struggling to afford basic necessities such as rent and food. Factor in formerly incarcerated people who are making not nearly enough in the prisons in which they're incarcerated in, now coming out of those prisons. How are you able to introduce them into a world where it's hard to survive financially right now, and they're coming from backgrounds in prisons where they're not making that much money or enough money to be able to support themselves? Now all of a sudden they have to worry about rising rent prices and rising food prices. How do you even begin to introduce them into that world?
You know how much money I made in prison? 6 cents an hour.
Wow.
6 cents an hour. My paycheck might have been $6 a month if I was lucky. Wow. And I could get maybe one or two things from commissary with that. A bag of potato chips was every bit of $5 or $6. And then you could get a pack of noodles for 30 cents. But yeah, I made 6 cents an hour during my incarceration. And this was in 2014. We're not talking about a long time ago. You know, this is just 10 years. So yeah, it's definitely a situation that is unfortunate. One of the things that we do with the Felon Friendly Foundation is we start working with them while they're still there. We start the program and we start the mentoring, getting them financial literacy, getting them set up so that they can have a action plan upon their arrival, making sure that there's community support, family support, and those systems in place and set up for them to also help them is also a big factor, and mindset, spirituality, and their emotional health, their mental health, making sure those things are taken care of are all going to play a factor. It's a big kind of circle of everything that connects that's going to and that's with any person, not just somebody that's formerly incarcerated, but those things. We just hope and advocate for more help, more support, like I said, more community agencies, more people like yourself giving, helping, giving people opportunities for a second chance, giving them a chance, allowing people to live again, trust them again, and get out here and prove themselves again is also going to help. And that goes with like the mindset, teaching them to just keep going, keep striving. You know, I always say choose life, live in fierceness every day. Don't let your failures fail you, and just keep going, because it is really hard. I still get discriminated against, you know, even with the things that I've done and accomplishments for myself, I still get discriminated against, and it's unfortunate, and it just is what it is, because you're, you know, met with the stigmatism once you go through those experiences. And we just have to work harder on the back end to, like I said, instill those values and skills and that confidence in those that have been through these situations, so that they can push through and persevere and get through it. They have to do a lot of research. They have to open their mouth. A closed mouth don't get fed, and they have to earn that, because that's one of the things that we do when we go through those circumstances. We lose our value. People don't trust us. You know, we're looked at a different light. So you have to earn people's trust back, and you have to demonstrate through your actions and your skills that you have that value and you can do these things, and you'll be able to position yourself. If you're just sitting around, you know, woe is me, making excuses for yourself and taking every no that you get and letting it defeat you, then you're going to stay in that gray space. You have to take accountability for what you did, and that you're there for those very reasons, and look past that and understand that you're going to have to just work a little harder to get the things that you need. There's resources out there. There's still support systems through the social service. There's all kinds of workforce and different development programs that are there for people that have been incarcerated. They just have to go out there and get it, and like I said, earn that. Not make excuses for themselves, and just keep going. Did I answer you? I keep going on that, child.
What advice, like along the same lines, what advice would you give young people when it comes to dealing with finances, especially young people who are like newly into like?
So in sync.
I'm going to tell
yes,
young people with
Just-
finances. So you guys have an advantage that we didn't have. You guys have the internet. You guys have access to means of information that just wasn't available and accessible to us. First and foremost, educate yourself and do your research. Ask questions, do more research. Seek out your elders. It's nothing like a wise owl, baby. It's nothing like a wise owl. And understand this. Don't take information and suggestions from people that aren't living and doing and setting the example of where you want to be. So, for example, unfortunately, with the way that the dynamics are in our families, so a lot of us are still in poverty situations, right? And what happened when we were growing up is, so my mother never had it. They stood in line getting government cheese. So when I would say things like, "Mom, I don't want to work. I'm struggling at work, you know, taking orders and doing these things for these little amounts of money. And I want to start a business," she would be afraid. She didn't understand it. "Well, Mom, I want to get a credit card." You know, "Well, what's credit? We don't do that. We don't get credit. We don't. That's not for us. You know, we buy things, and if we don't have the money, we don't get it." But that's just because her ignorance to not knowing and not being subjected to those things. So I couldn't look to my mother for advice and for knowledge. I had to go outside of the nest and outside of my community even to get the information that I needed, and then take heed to it. Study hard. It's going to be trial and error. But like I said, keep your mindset focused, and you can get there. Don't ever think that the current is got to stay present. You know what I mean? For young people, what you see in front of you is just what's in front of you. And you have to get out there and, like I said, do that research and get educated and get around people in the communities. Get a coach, get a mentor, get in an educational environment, ask questions, and the information will come to you. If you seek it, you'll find it. You know, and that's unfortunate, because you know what I'm talking about. Like when everybody's around you and they're saying and talking and acting and behaving in the same way, it's toxic when you think about it. But they don't even know they're being toxic. It's just the way things are. Like my mother, "Oh no, child, y'all can't get a credit card. What you mean you gonna start a business? Girl, you better go on down there to McDonald's and stuff like that." You know, it was like, it's just the way things are. And sometimes it can be discouraging and you get trapped in it. You gotta remember you're in a matrix sometimes, and there's a way out, you know, and just seek that. Seek better for yourself. Dream big. Go get them. Keep dreaming. Keep going for it. Never, ever, you know, think that there's something that you can't obtain or you can't change your situation, even as a young person. There's young people that I mentor and coach that have businesses, that have personal credit built out, business credit built out, and they're now helping their families, you know? So it's possible. I could talk. I tell y'all. I mean, tell me to love me now, media.
Great, you said.
Dr. Dawn, listen. I'll be quiet. Go ahead. Next question.
Now, I want to know where we should be putting our money in. Like, once we get it, where should we putting?
What should we do? What's our
where
next
should
move?
we be putting that money into?
I put mine in my mouth, and
Your money?
yes, I eat it.
I don't think that.
Oh, through food.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
right.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, you're out here eating $1 bills?
Yeah, it's like, what is this? Like a coin slot?
No,
Like-
no, I not even going to lie to you. I used to eat coins, but that's a
okay.
story for another time.
Yeah.
I really did used to eat
we
coins.
could discuss because
We'll unpack
Yeah.
that
It's like-
on a
Yeah.
metallic taste. Okay.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna answer that question a little differently, not maybe what you might expect me to say. So society says when you get your money, you save it. Yeah, put some to the side. But I believe that, especially in our times and the different circumstances that we're in, if you come across some money, then you better invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, self-development, seeking further training, education, and business opportunities. But even getting to a business opportunity takes self-investing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about it, once you invest in yourself and you're leveling up and getting the things and the tools that you need, then you're going to be on a different platform. You're going to be in a different space, and then you can do better overall. And then more money is going to come in. Then you could take it and maybe invest in the stocks, do this and do. And I'm not saying not to do that at all with it, but people are so quick to run to a bank and put their money there or sit it here, and then you still sitting there like, okay, now what? You waiting on this money to flip? All right, well, how about do something to improve yourself, investing in yourself, so that you can snatch that and then speed the process along. We were taught to IRAs, 401k, like let it sit there in the accrue, just sit and wait. I'm not waiting on it. Okay, okay, we're gonna get out here and we're gonna get this, and then once I have it, then okay. I'm not saying I don't have those things, but invest in yourself. I think that when you get money, you come across money and finance, self-investment is, for me, is a top priority. Saving, you're neck and neck. Of course, your credit is everything, but that's a part of self-investing. Making sure your credit is good. And
So
things
what
of
you're
such.
saying, what I'm hearing is invest in yourself
Yeah,
so that yourself can invest in your business.
your business,
And
whatever
then
that
your
may be.
business, invest in your wallet. Can I get one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want a
Okay,
business, some
right.
people may not want a business, but your lifestyle, your livelihood, your wealth, your generational wealth, your family, but you can't do anything or do much of anything if you're not right.
Yeah.
Your mindset's not right, and you're waiting on somebody else to provide an opportunity for you. You're waiting for a 401k to turn over. You're waiting for percentages on whatever those CDs to flip. Like, get the hell out of here. I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. Don't throw don't throw darts at me. I'm just saying, because these are the things that we were taught growing up that works for us. So like my aunts and them would probably watch this and be like, no, you didn't, girl. This is how but I'm just saying, like, you have to invest in yourself to better yourself so that overall everything will be better.
And
Yeah.
what does investing in yourself look like?
Self-development.
Why?
Self-development. So each person's self-development is different. So I can't really tell you what that looks like for you. You can share with me things about you, and I can help you understand and help you kind of discover that.
Yes. Okay.
When
But-
you
I
went to
gotta say
Rome, that was self-development. When you found Nia in that park in Europe.
Yes. We found Nia in Europe.
Yes, we
You
did.
did. In case you didn't know, that's the story.
Think about
Part
where
of the
you
lore.
are, where you want to be. Take a deep dive, and being honest is going to be crucial. Not social media fake pumping, not the lying to yourself in denial, and really really sit down and self-reflect on your rights, your wrongs, what you need to do, where you would like to be, and take self-accountability. I'm telling you, self-accountability, and I say this when I speak, and when you get down to it, you look in that mirror, anything that's going on, right, wrong, success, failure, it's a result of you. Your actions, your execution or lack thereof. You're the problem. Fix it.
And you are also
Fix
the
it.
solution.
Whether it's a substance that you're using, too much partying, not enough reading, working and spending your check instead of doing what you're supposed to do. You miss any situation that you're going through, 9 times out of 10, it's something that you can do to make a difference and change that and not put blame towards someone else. Every now and then, your mom was giving you a ride to school and tire blew out on the car. Okay, that's something that you can't help. But how about when the tire blew out, you called an Uber or you ran and caught the bus and got yourself to school on time. And, hey, Mom, you need a couple $. Here, let's get this tire fixed. Like, it's always something you could do in any situation to help yourself, good or bad. I think so. Self-development, like I said, it starts with self-accountability and honesty,
Can I just say you are...
Courage.
Such a good.
Yeah, like, you're the first...
My mommy, guys. That's my mommy.
I see.
Yeah, I see it. The first person to ever tell me, no, just put the money in yourself. Because everyone, you ask that question to anyone or a lot of people who work in finance, business, so on and so forth. Just like you said, Roth IRA, stocks, get the Robin Hood app, start buying stocks, start doing all of that. Buy Bitcoin. Rarely do you ever hear someone say, no, put that into yourself.
And those things are great. Don't get me wrong. But if your self-esteem and you're broken and you're not whole emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, sometimes none of that stuff matters. You can be investing in Robinhood, this and this and that, but if you're depressed and you're not feeling good and you're not at your best, then it may not make a difference. There's people who have so much stocks and they're jumping off of cliffs. They're jumping off bridges. The richest, most wealthiest people, think about it. The suicide rate is highly prevalent with people that have the most. Why do you think that is? They're not happy. They're not happy with themselves. Care about you. Put yourself first. Sacrifice everything for you, for self-love. And then the rest will come. Finances, it may not necessarily be cash. When you think about it, finances could be, loving yourself. Could be, you look good. You're feeling good. It's subjective, the word even. But think about, if you invest in yourself, I don't care what it is, no matter how big or how small, you're feeling good and you're whole. You're going to be winning. Even if it's a small win. And then that's just going to continue. It's like a viral. It's just positive energy. It's like, and they're coming. The people are going to try to come for you too.
Yeah.
Those energy suckers are coming, and you got to put them boundaries in place too. You got to put them boundaries up too.
We need her on the magazine.
I know. I was literally thinking that earlier.
I think there's someone on the side of the room that needs.
Genuinely, I
have
never heard
way
better
with
financial
words.
advice ever, and I
Thank
mean that with
you.
every fiber of my being.
Thank you,
Genuinely,
yeah.
to invest in yourself, in your
yourself.
happiness, because
Love.
and we live in this society, a very capitalistic society, where they're like, no, money first. You got to be worried about how you're making money, so on and so forth. You can sleep whenever you're retired, but in the meantime, you got to be working these like 40 to 50-hour weeks, and it's money, 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 money. Never do you hear anyone say, focus on yourself.
And I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm going to share something about me and my story. I ran a multi-million-dollar criminal enterprise. I touched millions of dollars, lost it all. They took everything from me. And it wasn't until I was sitting there with nothing, with absolutely nothing, looking silly, mind you, that I realized, okay, and I still feel the same damn way. And I just had X, Y, and Z and this and that. What is it? What's wrong with me? What's going on? That's when I thought, I need to get my shit together. I need to get my shit together. And once I accepted that, I was honest with me, and I started on that journey, then things started changing. So now it doesn't matter if I got 2 nickels in my pocket. I'm happy and I'm good, and money's going to come. God's going to bless me because I'm doing the right thing by me, by others. You know what I mean? I'm being a humble servant, and then that's all that matters to me now. I have all kinds of legal fees that I got to pay back to government. They're going to be on me for years. When you go through something like that, it's not a game, but it doesn't define me and it doesn't affect me. People say, oh, you owe how many millions of dollars? I'm like, yeah. Tomatoes. And they're like, what are you giving? I'm like, but it's the truth. That's real, though. That's real. When you go through those situations, you have a financial, sometimes you have to pay back money and stuff. So, that has happened to me, but it still doesn't stop me. And I'm not on the suicide couch either. And I'm going to keep going and keep thriving. But it all starts with just me loving me and putting me first. Like I said, just self-development. And, I just feel like that, like I said, money is money. Money's money. You can't take it with you, right? When you have everything taken from you like me, it's like, what is a material item going to do? What? I got to get through these trenches that I'm in. Like, what? That money ain't gonna help. Even a 6 cents an hour that I make, what's that? It's nothing. Self-love, that's everything. Having value, feeling like you have a purpose and you've met that purpose. Serving others. That's what life is about. Creating opportunities, building wealth for yourself, and not necessarily monetary, but it could be emotional wealth, spiritual. For others and yourself. Like that's what life is about. That's when you've lived, and then you can rest assured write your obituary with pride. So yeah, financing, you need to get your shit together. Stop playing.
I think that's like a really good question that we can all answer to sort of end on is like, how do you self-invest? Like, what would you consider your self-investment?
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
what would you consider self-investing?
Nathan.
I think you guys know my answer. I
Yes.
travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I travel
Nathan
a lot.
just came back from a
Yes,
trip.
fresh,
Like last
fresh
week,
off the plane.
I travel a lot, and I genuinely think that is. I mean, many things make me happy. Family makes me happy. My friends make me happy. Being around people that I love makes me happy. But in terms of seeking happiness within myself, going out, seeing the world, and learning, that is where I get all of my enrichment from. Being able to just see, because I'm not like I can't read about something and then not experience it and take anything in. I have to like be there on the ground. I have to see it and take it in. I think that is where I learn the most. That is where I'm able to take what I've absorbed and then come back and spread that. I think that's a large portion of my love for journalism, just being able to not only listen to people tell me, the things that they've experienced, but also as well to go out and experience that on my own. So I think a lot of traveling helps. And I mean, I know that a lot of people say that, but genuinely, a lot of traveling really does help me learn so much more than I could ever learn from behind a screen or in a book.
Now let me tell you something. Let me add a disclaimer. Now don't get simple. Now you do all this traveling, right? And you're self-developing, you're discovering, but make sure there's balance. Make sure you still have a revenue source coming in. That's where the investment, the job that I spoke of, that investment in yourself, that's considered like that. A job is an investment in you. Make sure you're still bringing in money. You're not being a burden on your parents and anyone else, and that you're self-sufficient. You're able to sustain in those travels and in the things that you're doing, even if the self-investment is getting $1,000 wig every 2 weeks, or a new pair of shoes, so that you can feel good and then it continue to feel good, and you building up your wardrobe, whatever that is. It could be the smallest thing. Just make sure that there's also balance in your life and you're taking care of your responsibility. So don't be talking about, oh, Mom, Coach Dawn, Dr. Dawn told me to just travel. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. Don't have them looking for me. I'm just make sure that there's balance. You got to have common sense too, but just know that I've just seen a lot in my time. Everybody just thinks that it's just money, money, money. And yes, it is money, but it isn't. Because like I said, when you're doing the right thing and you're feeling good, you're unstoppable. And you're at that high place in your life, and that self-love that cup is full, everything else is going to come. Everything else is going to come. So you might be traveling, right? You're traveling the world and you're writing and you're, working a part-time job at the coffee shop in between taking photos or doing, photo shoots on the bridge in Paris at the Key Stop and charging $10 a person and making a coin or something like that. And then somebody walks up, the Wolf on Wall Street is there visiting, with his children. And you meet him because you're there in Paris, and you took that plunge to go and leave, and now you've met him, and now he's those finances and those stocks that you were trying on. He says, hey, I have a program, I can tell you about it. And now you've met him in it, relationships, things, people, society. So just have some balance. So that was my main thing, because you was going, so wait, let me put this disclaimer out there, because you ain't nobody's mama knocking them out. What you tell? But make sure that there's balance and you're using common sense. Don't use your last, and you got to pay your rent. Now of course if you go somewhere and try to get help, that's fine. But have balance. Have balance.
What you do, Journey?
I, as well as, getting the bag.
Whoa.
I think my self-investment probably is concerts. Or music in general, but I like live music. I think being in a room, feeling the energy, especially after a concert, leaving with all those people. It's also connections too, in a way. You meet people and then they're like, oh, I do this, or oh, I do this too, and then you're friends and I see you at another concert, and just the energy in the room is so special. It's like a really good feeling that can't be explained in any other words that I get at a concert. And it does feel like a self-investment. And even though you spend a little money to get there, you get money back.
And what happens when you go to that concert and you've invested that money the next day or the next week or the next few months after you had that experience? How are you delivering and executing in your life and showing up for yourself once you have that experience for yourself? How does that affect you?
Ooh, the table's turned.
and meaning, what's the value in that? Like, let's talk about the self-development, because once you take, you want to go to the concert, the concert gives you a feeling of euphoria. It puts you in a space. Now, how do you perform after that? Think about it. How does your life look after you go through that experience and feel good?
I feel much better. I think I'm more social after, because you interact with so many people, and it's like you want to tell people what you experience at the concert. Then sometimes I talk about it and other people are like, "Oh my God, I've never been to a concert." And I'm like, "No, I'm going to take you to one." Yeah. And it's like you make more friends, then you make more memories, and I think having that impact of, just like the domino effect of that, it's really nice and it impacts me. So yeah, what's yours, say?
I just so pretty. I don't know. I just love to be so pretty. So I buy clothes and I get my hair done and get my nails done, and I go places and I experience. I really like to experience stuff. That's probably like one of my favorite things about living in stuff, is like experiencing stuff. And I feel like you should experience things, but you don't really experience things, because if you wanted to experience it, you would experience things.
Right.
No, wait, you guys.
No, I got it.
Yeah, no, I like to get pretty and go take pictures, because then when I take pictures, I have pictures to post, and then people tell me how pretty I am, and then I hear how pretty I am, and then yes, and then I like to experience pretty things, because it's one thing to just be pretty, but if there are pretty things around you, it's just one big whole pretty world.
I love that.
Love that.
That's so. Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
And thank you for that.
Thank you.
We are again running short on time,
yes.
So I do want to end on this question specifically for Coach Don, but it's open to everyone. Kind of touched on this earlier, but how can we use money to spread love?
How can we use money to spread love? Serving others. Through reciprocating that love that you have for yourself, giving back, educating, training, helping, getting out there and showing up, and just not being a gatekeeper at the end of the day.
That's right.
Allowing people to understand and sharing knowledge. Sometimes it may take, I got to give somebody $1,500 to get their business registration in line and get their insurance set up and all that. Sometimes it might actually be the actual cash that the people need to spread the love, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just, like I said, information sharing, loving that person, being encouraging, and giving them the blueprint. Like I said, not gatekeeping, and just sharing your knowledge. Being that owl. You get wiser and wiser as the years go, but I think that our society has been so secretive and, gatekeeping. And like you said, the people that own the real estate and the people that are working, there's two different levels here. The wages are here, and the people that own the building and the businesses are up here. And we have to close that gap. And that's only going to happen if we share and we educate and we spread that wealth and that knowledge, and we fill each other up and encourage one another. And it may sound like strawberry shortcake and la, but it's real. It's real. So yeah, what do you think? How would you answer that question?
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm being interviewed. I would definitely say, and on a similar note, sharing with the people that I love. Genuinely, I love to give as much as possible to the people in my life, whether it be friends, family, coworkers, just again, people surround me, and contributing the wealth that I have to everyone else.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is all.
I think that's perfect.
So very beautiful.
That's perfect.
I think that's perfect.
I've loved having you.
I love being here.
That's so sweet.
This is the Love Now Media.
Yes, it
How
is.
could I get on Love Now Media and not talk about love? But this is really real. It's real stuff. And having just been through so much as a result of the finance space, it's more than just the money.
Yeah.
It's absolutely more than just the money.
And you guys at home, you should think about how you can use your money to invest into yourself so that we can all be rich. Because if we are rich, we can throw a real big party.
Rich and pretty.
Rich and so pretty, guys. I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
And don't forget to stay
Stay hungry.
I got it that time.
Get you some chicken. Chicken wings. Hi, everybody. It's me, Dr. Dawn Michelle, also known as Coach Dawn Michelle, here to tell you about my best-selling book, From Sell to CEO. Stop playing and get your shh together. Take a journey with me and with yourself on self-discovery. That's right, self-accountability. Let's figure out what we can do to better ourselves. Make that transition in your life. Check out my book. It'll tell you a little bit about my story and give you action steps, real life action steps on what you need to do to get started and moving in the right direction to be a legitimate, highly wealthy business owner. You too can go from being in a cell to a CEO. Stop playing and get your together.
And the first 5 people to DM us at Love Now Media on Instagram will receive a free copy of Sell to CEO. Get your shh together so you too can get your shh together.
Get the free sauce. Y'all better hurry up. DM them. Love Now Media, Instagram. Hi.